Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early, daily discipline, mind, body, and soul. This is how we get through Friday, end of the week. Hope you guys have a good weekend planned ahead of you. The storm's over. I had lots of damage at my house from the hurricane. Taking care of all of it. I'm not just back to normal, but I've taken care of all the damage. And so what does that mean? That I'm not just back to normal? Well, I'm better than I was. I ended up now, my property looks better. The fence is new. Before it was old. I went into the storm with an old rickety fence. Now I got a new fence. I had some tree work done, and landscapers came, and the house looks better today. The curb appeal, I could sell it for more today than I could going into the storm. So I didn't just go back to normal. Going back to normal would be to restore what was the same as when I went into it. So to restore that rickety old fence. And I went into the storm with a rickety old fence, and I come out of the storm with just putting that rickety old fence back up, which I've done like 5 times. That's why this time I got a new fence. And I've spent many storms where you have to recover from it. And oh, it can be tough. The storm hits hard. You got a lot of cleanup, a lot of damage. And the best you can do is just to get things finally, after months, if you're lucky, maybe it'll take less, but you get your property and your life just back to where it was. I didn't do it that way this time. I didn't just recover from the storm this time. This time I came out better, but I had to put in a lot of work and a lot of money for this, but I think that's a good way to go through a storm, to go through life. Because that way you don't feel like a pinball in a pinball machine. Sometimes the suffering and obstacles of life can feel like it's just tossing us around. And the best we can do is just struggle to get back on course. And sometimes you have these setbacks, and geez, that feels like the last 5 years of work down the tubes, but I'll get back on the path and keep moving forward. And how many times do you do this? 1 step forward, 2 steps back. Hey, that would be great. That's for successful people. What about 1 step forward and 3 years back? I came out on top this time. And I think that's a better way to go through storms. We're going to go through storms. But instead of simply stopping at where I was or copping out, because sometimes when we recover, we're recovering from a damaged place. So as we recover, we're in a weakened state. Our thoughts may not be clear. Our intentions may just simply be to have all this over. I just want all this over with. I just want it to be done with. So your motivation is different. You're not willing to endure when you just want it to be over. So we can talk about preparation for a storm. And that's important too. Some people do no preparation, and when a storm hits, even the littlest storm hits, that blows their house of cards right down. Their whole life falls apart. The littlest thing happens in their life, and it's just ruined. But we can prepare for this. This is what the Mind, Body, and Soul program is about in some ways, but talking about recovering from a storm. Now, the two are tied together, obviously. I had a little bit of money. If I was flat broke, 100% broke, I wouldn't have been able to do some of the things that I did to rebuild. but that's also counted as preparation for the storm. I know that storms happen. I know that storms cost money. I know that FEMA and insurance companies are slow moving and they cheapskate you out. Their job is to fight against you. So I try to keep a little bit of savings on hand in case I need to buy a motorcycle or have a tree removed from my house after a hurricane. So you could look at that, your financial situation, as preparation for bad times. Stay financially secure. I got dumped by my fiance years ago. We were living together. We were going to get married. We had our whole life, our bank account, everything tied together. She cheated on me and dumped me. You say, well, if she cheated on you, wouldn't you dump her? Oh no, I was a simp. I was the captain of the simps. The simpiest simp in Simp Town. The simp king. That's what I used to be. She cheated on me and dumped me. And I was standing there with nothing. I went homeless off it like a sucker. I was so unprepared for that. I should have been prepared for that shit. So be prepared. And you're prepared for a recovery. But when you recover, you come out good. So my house looks better than going into the storm. What if you did get dumped? Instead of going homeless off of it, you could use that opportunity to recover better, be liberated instead of depressed. Realize you have more time to work on self instead of sitting around desperately lonely. The next time she sees you after a month or two, sure, she might be looking good and she's happy she got rid of your dumbass, but you're not that dumbass version no more. You've propelled forward. You're way, way down the path. She's going to be stunned. And it's not to get her back. Fuck her. You've evolved past her. In a couple months, you probably won't even find her attractive anymore. You're moving forward. You didn't just get back to normal. You didn't just get slammed through some relationship and then you finally got back to normal. No. You used that experience to make you better. And then that way, when you look at what happened, the storm, you look at the storm as a good thing. I was bummed on that storm as it was happening and as I led into it. But now, today, the recovery, I'm glad it happened. I'm in a better position right now than I was going into the storm. That storm helped me become better. It helped me level up. It propelled me forward. Thank God for the storms. And I'll be ready for the next one. And I won't just simply get back to normal. I'll be even further down the road. Every one of these damn things I'm going to level up off of. There's no such thing as setbacks anymore. Outlook is everything. Food for thought.